It's rock, baby.
All right, welcome back to Primarily Speaking. How's everybody doing? I am your host with the most, Mr. Wild Willer himself, Prime, and Azul to the 25.
Wait, wait, hold up. That's your new thing now? You ain't even, see, this is what I'm talking about.
What?
I am the total package, Rex Delro, coming at you one big time from this guy's house.
That's right. It's Hannibal Venable, baby. And we in the madhouse today, baby.
Madhouse.
Yeah. Hey, and tagging along with us today, we got a special guest coming to you live from the madhouse. Let them know who you is, dog.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris Savage. I'm back. You know, I've been away for a minute, but now, you know, they call the duty. I'm here.
Back for the first time. Yeah, that's good to see you, man. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Holding it down. How y'all fellas doing, man?
Doing fantastic, dog. No social distancing whatsoever.
All y'all boy like 1 foot apart.
That's right. That's right. How about that? How about
we
that?
all lean on the little TV screen. Like,
That's right. Like, yeah.
Who's that peeping through my window?
Blah.
Well, I have to say, happy belated Father's Day to y'all. I know I already said happy Father's Day, but I'm saying it again. Happy belated Father's Day. Y'all boy had a good Father's Day?
Always a good Father's Day, man. Always.
Y'all get some good gifts?
No.
Man, I got good gifts. I don't know what y'all talking about. I got a good gift.
London didn't get no good gifts.
Yes, I did. I look forward to the gifts that I get, man. Yeah, I got $20. You know what I'm saying?
That's always a good thing.
You know
That's always a
I
good thing.
really, all I want to do is hear the kids' voice. Happy Father's Day. That's all I really want to hear.
And that's all you need right there, man.
Anything extra is all gravy on the top of the rice, baby. That's all it is to me.
That's what's up.
You know
That's what's
what I'm
up.
talking
And that's the young guys talking. When the old guy talk, nah, I ain't trying to hit none of that, though. I want a big gift. I want more than $20.
Well, none of my kids working. So when they start working, I'm going to start looking for, mama can stop sending me the socks.
The mama sending you the socks.
Yeah, y'all look forward for them shit, dog.
My gift,
gotta get the socks.
From my
I
kids.
just love being here and being with the kids, man.
My wife and kids, my gift is
wake me up.
they asked me what I want. I said nothing and to leave me the hell alone. And that's what they did. They left me alone all day. They didn't complain, asked me to do shit all day.
And give you nothing.
They give me love every day. That one day I don't need it. That one day I don't need
it. That sounds good.
That's not a bad gift. That's a great gift.
Yeah.
Nothing all day. That's great.
Paradise.
Yeah, all day. They ain't bother me at all, man.
Right.
I enjoy it. All I did was watch TV, play video games, and watch more TV. That's all I did. All right, so we have a great show for you guys today. We got a laundry list of shit to talk about today, man. But we're gonna go ahead and kick the thing off by talking about, this is random news, by the way. We got these little segments. We're gonna do random news real quick. One of the random news I had was they had the guy, one of the officers that was locked up for George Floyd's murder was J. Alexander, correct me if I'm wrong, Keung?
Kwang.
Like that.
It doesn't fucking matter what his name is.
Now this dude, the lady walked up on him in the store. I don't know what store. It looked like a Costco or Sam's or some shit like that. I don't know. But she walked up on him and like, are you? He's like, yeah, that's me. And like you don't feel bad. You killed y'all murdered that man. You just out shopping like ain't nothing wrong. He been like, hey, I'm sorry you feel like that. See, I'm out for necessities now. I see in his hand, he had a pack of Oreos and like a milk, a little small jug of milk. And I'm like, nigga, don't ain't no necessities. What the fuck is this? But I thought it was superstar for him to just be out and about like shit was sweet. You know what I'm saying? What y'all boy think about that?
He wasn't even trying to hide who he was. He didn't care. He was just blatantly out in public,
because he feels like a celebrity, dog. That's why.
Somebody should have came and took his cookies.
That's your
No doubt. Somebody should have took his cookies for real.
Yeah, that was super, super weird for me, man. Like, nigga, you couldn't send somebody to get that shit for you? Nobody.
Hey, I like how in the video she was like, hey, this dude from over here, yeah, he the one who killed George Floyd. Yeah, this one of the officers right here.
And he braver than me because I would leave. I'd have been like, you know what? Let me get the fuck up out of here, man. He was
Right.
You never know. One phone call, that's your life, buddy.
Hell,
That's your life.
He's a brave dude, man. I thought that was real random, man. Y'all boy got.
I think that was rude. I think that was very rude
and disrespectful.
Yeah.
I agree with the rudeness. Y'all boy got any
Shit
other
is
random news?
So what now?
Any other random news?
Random news.
Random news. Let's see where we want to go with this.
Charleston just went up 900 more on that COVID.
Oh man,
Nobody is saying anything about it.
Jesus Christ.
South Carolina.
Charleston and South Carolina, but Charleston went up 300 cases that made it up to 900 for today.
What? So Charleston went up 300 cases, and that made it 900 cross statewide through South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It was 1,200 statewide.
Ooh, shit.
Oh my God.
1,200 statewide.
I got to get the fuck out of here,
South Carolina, man. We becoming close like Florida. Like Florida is crazy. But we become
it's all the southern states, dog. It's just a bunch of dummies doing dumb shit down here, man.
I just want to go home and see my mom.
5,000 in one day.
Can y'all stay in the house for a little bit so I can go down there and be safe?
Hell,
Make it back
the
safe?
fucking man, Norm Charleston, got the COVID. And they said that he got it going to a bar. What bar did he go to? They never said. But he got it.
That's why I haven't been
terrible
visiting
example.
establishments.
That's a terrible example. Terrible example. Damn, man.
Listen, man, once they did that Memorial Day shit, dog, everything went downhill. And now winter is coming.
Oh, and I saw a headline before we started talking earlier that a report shows that the Black Lives Matter protests have not contributed to the increase in COVID-19 cases.
Nope. Sure has not.
Have not contributed. So all them people screaming that bullshit, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Get the fuck out of here.
Can you see it?
Moving on to sports, y'all boy. About the whole Bubba Wallace thing. The whole noose in the garage door thing.
It's still a news.
That his team, on Sunday, his team found a noose hanging in the garage. And it was the FBI found out that noose had been there since 2019. However, even though it wasn't directed at Bubba Wallace, it still was a noose, nonetheless. And my question is, why was a noose there at all? Like, who just randomly makes nooses and just drapes them places? Who does that?
That's the same thing that you could say back in 2012. There was a noose in Boeing.
In Boeing, or at the plane plant?
Yeah, at the plane plant. In the factory.
Down here.
That don't make sense to me. Like, why is there a noose? Yeah, of course, me personally feel like it's a racist person doing it. Now, it may not have been.
Yeah.
Still, I wonder if they can find out who it is. If it's somebody that worked there, another driver, whatever, or another driver's team. I don't know.
Cause you know that they know who it is, dog. But they ain't gonna tell you. They ain't gonna tell you, dog. They not punish that dude to the fullest extent. They ain't gonna say nothing about it. That's why they was like, the FBI conducts that. They did a little investigation. It's no hate crime. They said that pretty quick. That investigation got over fast, man.
Because they investigated.
Well, I think they just look further now. They didn't look back to when the past, who did it or what it was done for.
Well, first off, how you can't get no fingerprints or nothing off that noose?
But
and
you know how
you know exactly how you know that noose been there since last year? Who told you that? Who gave you this information?
Like they said, they did their investigation.
Them niggas can't put fingerprints off.
They're not being very transparent. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Right about that.
And while you speaking of transparency, I got some more on transparency later.
Oh, shit. I always bust down the segue.
One thing I did want to say, I did like the show of solidarity that they had by helping push Bubba Wallace's car to the front. I think it was from like spot 35 or something like that, all the way up to number 1. I mean, that was cool and all, you know what I mean? I just like the solidarity look. I just like the whole look. And for some reason, there was a lot of black people at this NASCAR show. I didn't know black people go to watch NASCAR. Even if they watch on TV.
They didn't before now.
No, black people went to NASCAR.
No. Yes, they did. My uncle watches it. See, usually they drive.
This is why
a lot of. Hold up. Truck drivers. Usually they love that shit.
Truck driver.
They love that shit. There's something about those NASCAR, dog. It can be entertaining.
Yeah.
I can watch it for a few laps. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I dig NASCAR.
Yeah, and plus going to a NASCAR event or a race or whatever, it's like going to a big ass cookout.
Pretty much.
I'll go. Wait a minute. Hold up. See, now I feel kind of offended.
Why?
because they don't throw cookouts.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever they do, they think whatever. We throw cookouts. Now as far, I dig NASCAR. I'll go to a NASCAR race now.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go to one
Confederate
before.
flag.
Yeah, but before
I've
that,
been to one, but I wasn't gonna just go.
I watched like the last 10 laps. The last 10 laps I watched. I ain't watching 490 laps. No, I watched the last.
No, you can't.
Hey man, my uncle will watch that shit. He'll lay back in the chair and go to sleep. You pick that remote up and you'll turn it. This motherfucker wake up, hey, turn it back. Hey,
where's the excitement in the first 490 laps? I don't get it. I'm not a NASCAR.
I mean, they do. It's a lot of rubbing going on. A lot of bumping.
A lot of what?
A lot of paint being traded. A lot of passion. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of NASCAR?
Yeah. But get your mind out of there.
NASCAR section on Pornhub or something? What you watching?
Oh, no. See where your mind at? Oh, Kels, get back, Kels. Get back. Get down.
All right, now we our boy think about the NBA about to come back in July 30th, right? And so they started with the testing. I think Lundy, you were telling me, was that Lundy or you, Rex, telling me about 4 people already tested positive, and a few people said nah.
4 people have the coronavirus in the NBA right now.
Yeah. 4 people
that we know of.
Only 3 players so far have opted out of continuing the season down in Orlando. Okay. The NBA is supposed to start testing. I think it's July the 11th. I'm not sure about that date. You might want to fact check me on that. But right. I think July the 11th, the NBA starts testing all players and teams that are coming to Orlando. They go ahead and start testing then so they can report to Orlando.
Okay. But now
wait a minute now. Hold up, cuz.
They're
reporting to Orlando, Florida.
They get tested.
The epicenter of the coronavirus right now. That's where they're going at, though. I just want to throw that in there.
Disney World. After they leave, y'all go to Disney World at all after they leave?
Are you serious? Wait a minute. Hold up. Stop. Do you know that 4 Disney World employees have the coronavirus right now as we speak?
Damn, they can't keep
it. Yes. This shit ain't plain.
Disney World was open.
Yeah.
People were still going to Disney
Seemed like 4 is the magic number.
So what would they do though? So 4 players tested positive, right? And
they can't go.
Let's say they're gonna carry on with the rest of the season still. Those 4 players can't.
No, those players quarantine. Well, his quarantine will be over before it starts.
So yeah,
but they still gotta get tested again. Because they gotta
get tested again.
They saying now that they had it on the news. People that done had the damn virus since like April. They had it for 50 days. 60 days. One person had it for 35 days. So there's nothing that says it's going to be gone in 2 weeks.
Right.
No,
exactly.
There's nothing that says that.
So
only thing they can do now, because it looks like it's gonna continue. Only way I say that it stops is if more players get tested positive when it comes down to the teams that's going. If a whole bunch of players start testing positive, they're going to cut that thing out. They're going to be like, you know what, just go ahead and can it. It's not going to work. If no one tests positive out those teams that's going when they go to report, then they probably going to go ahead and keep the season going.
I asked this question a couple of weeks ago. Why are they trying to have a season? Because the
majority vote says that the players want to play.
It's not the majority. It is the financial.
Where are the adults? That's why I want to know.
That's driving.
What is adults say? Like,
a lot of rookie players.
Hold on.
Sit down.
Rex.
But you have the people who have already been successful within the NBA. They still have money. They still got things going on.
They just want to play because they
want to play.
Yeah,
but the problem is, how are you going to go ahead and have people in an arena?
Nobody's going to be there.
Nobody's going to be there. So this is all going to be video live. So you have the players. You have the doctor. You have anybody else who's
That's
like
it.
The trainers.
That's it.
Cameramen.
That's it.
Somebody
People
is
said,
gonna have.
yeah. The people roaming around the arena or whatever. You're gonna have at least 500 to 600 people there, including the players. There's no way that you can possibly do this without any risk. They should shut it all down.
It's always going to be a risk.
It's not always going to be a risk. If they just shut everything down, like they tried to do at the beginning, and people wouldn't listen, and they even fucking playing around and going outside and shit, and then fucking it up. Now it's back to square one. So either they shut everything down now, which they won't do because they stop.
You're talking about the nation as a whole, just shut everything down.
Yes.
Okay.
We the epicenter. We the hot spot. Florida right now is
Here's the problem I have with that. Here's the problem. Now, number one, I agree that they don't need an NBA. They don't need to play the rest of the NBA season. The problem that I have with that is that now with this new evidence that shows that they can't even guarantee it's going to be gone in 2 weeks or for whatever your quarantine is, then everybody's at a risk until they have a vaccine. It doesn't matter what the fuck we do.
But it wouldn't matter about the vaccine.
That's not true.
The vaccine is just like the flu. You get a flu vaccine, there's another strain. This thing done been around for a while. The only thing that changed about it is whenever certain people got together and they went ahead and genetically engineered this shit to be more than what it was, and it got out of control.
They've been trying to genetically engineer some shit, and this one worked. This one worked.
Number 29,
hey,
it worked.
Hey, what Thanos did? The shit went for the head.
Snap my finger.
I don't know, man. It just looks sketchy and sketchy. I feel like they're not gonna pull this NBA shit off. I think it's gonna go down the toilet as they start doing more testing. They figure out some of the players got it. They just all the ones that's refusing to be tested. They're just gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, just fuck it.
Nah, they can't refuse to be tested. They gotta get tested if they want to play. They have to get tested.
Of the players that don't want to play, saying I'm not going to go get tested. Like, well, how that work though? If you got a player,
no. If the players don't want to play, they already home.
But I'm saying, if you got a team, if you play for the Bucks, and 4 of your players don't want to play, they still going to say, all right, everybody else, we still going to go.
You can sign somebody.
You can sign.
You see what I mean? You see how that gonna work?
That bullshit just they don't have it together.
But the thing is, only 3 players have said, I ain't playing.
Well, it's more than 3 players though.
That's only 3.
That's 3 that you heard. I'm guaranteeing you, though, there's more players out there saying, man, I know about that shit, though. You got to think about this. A lot of these players got to think about their families. They have people living with them that are old, that are at risk. They ain't trying to risk none of that or whatever. These people ain't trying to stay away from their families for 3 and 4 months at a time, like 2.5 months. That's still a long time.
Bringing their families with them, though.
I mean,
a lot of them is taking
nobody taking into account. No courtesy is towards that player or whatever. That's the way I feel about it. Regardless of what they try to do, there are going to be no seasons. Period. All that shit gonna get shut down. There's not going to be an NBA season, an MLB season, or NFL season. All that shit getting shut down.
MLB already agreed to a 60-game season,
and that shit gonna flop. I said it here on Primarily Speaking. It's gonna flop.
On Primarily Speaking, baby.
Me being an optimistic person, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care for the season to come back, but if they're able to pull it off, who knows? If anybody's able to pull it off, I don't think baseball is able to pull it off. I don't think football is able to pull it off. It's too much traveling that you got to do to go play football.
Yeah.
With it being basketball, they have a location where they can house the 22 teams that's coming.
22 teams.
That's too many people.
All in one spot.
22 teams. And how many players on one team?
I don't see it working. I honestly don't see this shit working. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
Honestly, and I'll be straight up. I hope it doesn't. Because I don't want to see none of them fellas. I just don't want to see nothing bad happening, man. This shit done killed hundreds of thousands of people, man.
Look,
shit ain't no joke.
Ain't nobody.
Hey, the whole football season went on with the shit going on.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, the whole football season went on with the shit going on.
All right, y'all boy got
anything? Though.
Y'all boy got anything else for sports?
Oh yeah. When we talk about sports, I can kind of segue into some entertainment if you want to do it that way.
Segue. Is it about sports?
It's about sports.
But then
It's about a great boxer. A great boxer of ours is getting a biopic. The young Mike Tyson getting a biopic. Jamie Foxx is gonna do it. Now,
no. You talking about a movie. You're not talking about sports.
Well, that's sports. That's sports related. Oh, wait a minute. That's sports related now.
Let's get it together. Hannibal. Let's get it.
No. Is that not sports related?
No. If you had talked about something about,
Hold up.
if you had talked about
Did I say sports related?
Hey, Sarah, get a good dude. No.
I say anything
You
else.
get the fuck out.
It don't matter to me. It's in my house.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I go back home.
See when you gonna start
Get out.
Hey, people get put out. It's a madhouse.
You gonna circle back to that one entertainment.
Now, if you had talked about tennis, the female tennis players right now are going ahead to go and play matches. They've already decided to devise some type of strategy where it'll be two on two. They're going to be far apart. They're going to be hitting the ball across to each other.
What?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Tennis.
You see what happened to
They're playing.
They can do tennis.
They are playing. They say they want to play. They're going to play.
Tennis ain't a contact sport. They can do that.
They can do that. The same thing with golf. Golf is still trying to go on, especially down here with the PGA Tour.
Y'all bad influences.
They still going ahead with it because why? They can be out there by themselves.
Y'all bad influences.
I mean, they've been wrestling. They have been wrestling on that WWE shit.
That was just
Shit. They've been wrestling.
The wrestling and the UFC shit was just dumb.
Which wrestler caught the coronavirus?
It is some WWE wrestlers.
Which one?
You cannot play that sport without touching another human.
Look, yeah, it's contact. There's nothing you can do right now.
This shit come on every Monday, whatever time that shit come on. Them motherfuckers still putting on the show.
And we know that.
And they're gonna keep putting on the show.
And they're gonna keep catching the coronavirus.
No, I haven't heard a report of any wrestler catching the coronavirus.
Vince McMahon will not let you hear too much about
it's
that.
more than just WWE, dog. They got the whole other shit.
UFC, they fighters catching the coronavirus.
All that bullshit. They shouldn't be doing that UFC either, man.
Boxers catching the coronavirus.
WWE
Everybody
released more than 18 wrestlers.
18? Okay, there you go.
Including Kurt Angle.
Listen, man.
You fucking wrestler?
Kurt Angle. This ain't the 90s.
You should have stayed at the house.
Should have stayed at the house.
Too much touching, man.
Yes.
Hey, man, what we got next, man?
Too much touching.
I'm going to slide on over to entertainment. It's your shot, London.
Okay, there you go. Segue.
This is your shot.
Wait a minute, hold up, cuz I don't feel like you helped Hannibal out the right way.
Yeah, I just had to say it.
Because he did lead off,
With Mike Tyson, a great boxer. There's a boxer who just
making a movie about,
Who mysteriously wants to go back and fight Evander Holyfield.
So Jamie Foxx is supposed to play Mike Tyson, right? In the bio.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's a good depiction. I think he'll do good as Mike Tyson.
Probably would.
He's actually been trying to get this off the ground for a while now.
Now, who you think did better? Who you think did better as Mike, or could do better? Jamie Foxx or Keenan Ivory Wayne?
Mike Tyson. I mean, not Mike Tyson. Jamie Foxx.
I'm about to say, let me get his neck.
Who you say like? Who you say Hannibal?
Hey, Jamie Foxx hands down, dog. Like, he can impersonate anybody. We were just here watching Ray the other day, dog. Man.
You gotta admit, Keenan Ivory Wayne did a great job on Living Color.
Yeah, he did.
He said, but he can't do no Mike Tyson.
And he too big. He too tall. Too tall.
And Jamie got the voice down pat.
Yeah. I think
No, actually, Jamie is working on the size. I think he's up to 216 now. He's trying to get to like 220.
He got
so he on camera he'll look like 230. He posted a pic on his Instagram where dude looked like he might have been using HGH, but now he been working out for a minute. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really putting in the work.
The man is a natural athlete.
Hey, whenever you think about,
you know how I feel about him. I think he's one of the most gifted artists I've seen in the last 20 years. Dog, straight up. Yeah, you got to give it to him, dog. What he did in movies, what he did in movies and singing and all that shit, dog. He's a total package. And I don't give that title to everybody. Y'all know that. But he is a total package.
He's also, and you know Jamie 50?
He's 50?
Yeah, he getting up there.
Young.
Black
But
don't
y'all
crack
know,
beef. Come on, man.
he is also in talks to play Spawn as well.
No, they need Michael Jai White. No.
Thank you.
You say Michael Jai White, but Michael Jai White don't want to do it.
Well, then nobody should do it.
Nobody
Only
should.
one Spawn.
Hey, man, I looked at that movie.
It's only one Spawn.
That movie been straight through.
It was a bad movie, but he was.
That movie was straight through.
He was just like Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is perfect for Deadpool, but Deadpool 2 was a bullshit movie. But
it was a cash grab. It was a cash grab.
I mean, it was all right.
It was a cash grab.
He's spot on. All right, what else? Y'all see DLGB had collapsed on stage and
my dog passed up.
contracted COVID-19.
Yeah, he also has diabetes too. That might have been what caused him to pass out.
That's super bad for him, man, because you know those preconditions, whatever you call it.
Pre-existing conditions.
Pre-existing conditions, yeah.
I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
It's all right. We got you. You look business attire. We over here just slumming it out, but we got you. We got the internet.
That's what's up. I love it. Now, Reg, you been saying something earlier. You said he shouldn't even been out.
Hell no.
No, he should not have. He was doing a show someplace in America, which is the epicenter of the world, of the coronavirus right now. He was out doing an actual comedy show with people in the crowd and this and the third. GLE. Yeah.
He won too.
Yeah, he passed. Who?
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle one was different. You talk about 846?
Dave Chappelle been in the park.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle was in the park, and if you notice the crowd, which they really didn't show during the thing or whatever, everybody was spread out. Yeah, that was different. DL show was inside of the slow comedy house or whatever, and they had people close together. You can't have that.
That's true.
It seemed like everybody done lost their mind, dog, after Memorial Day.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what it is? People, what happened every time it get hot? People got to go outside. They can't sit still. They got to keep moving. Another artist, another actor that we know, the one who played Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, he just recently went to the emergency room. It doesn't say when we look it up what he went to the emergency room for. I know he was in the Five Bloods, and I know he's been tapped to play the African samurai.
Yeah,
he lost a whole bunch of weight. You know, it got fans concerned. Like I'm concerned.
He was in the Five Bloods. In the Five Bloods, he was done.
So what you say, T. Brian?
I say he was thin in the Five Bloods too.
Yeah.
But now, where y'all laugh? What the fuck y'all laughing at? I want to laugh too.
Now, they're saying that he has a rumor of having long-term health issues, but the actor is almost nearly 50 pounds right now.
Oh, wow.
They don't know what is
he lost nearly 50 pounds. He was already a small guy. He went a big guy.
You can see it, but that's how he's looking now.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
he look rough.
I know he had posted something on Twitter, and people were like, "What the fuck going on with you, man?"
Fellow South Carolinian, got a salute. Hope he get well soon.
Yeah. Gotta have him back for that. Gotta have him back in good health. Also want to see him do that. Another great job in that Black Panther 2.
Hopefully he can make it to finish that up.
Hopefully.
Y'all know Michael.
Ridiculous rant from TMZ. Bill Cosby might be getting out of jail soon, y'all.
I heard about that. I heard his attorney put an appeal for him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Y'all hear?
And another one more thing.
Go ahead.
The original cinematic Batman may be returned.
That's what I was just about to say.
Segue.
Hey, great minds think alike. Great minds think
Michael
alike.
Keaton.
You over there looking like Mastermind. But, we got the same way we going over here.
For me, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. Nobody else has been a better Batman than Michael Keaton.
The original Batman.
Definitely not Val Kilmer. Definitely not George Clooney.
Hell no.
What's the guy who played the
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
He was
and then
all right. He was
Ben
all right.
Affleck. But I wish Ben Affleck
Hold
would have got
on.
his own movie.
Wait a minute, stop. You can't do Christian Bale like that. Though.
He had a great movie.
Yeah,
It was all right. You know what?
No,
I didn't like about
all
Christian
right.
Bale?
No, he was not.
American Psycho?
That bullshit ass deep voice he tried to put on when he been Batman. That bullshit ass voice.
That's the only thing, but you gotta disguise his voice. Can't let nobody know who he is.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
To me, Ben Affleck had the best fight scene as Batman.
He did, but the ending of that
That's not his movie, though.
whole movie,
you know what the problem was with that
Which
shit?
one? Wait.
Why they can't never do it right? They finally got rid of those execs at WB. That's why they putting out the Snyder Cut. This Flashpoint Paradox with Michael Keaton coming back too. It's probably gonna be a good movie. If they do it anything close to the animated version of the movie, which I think they are, they're gonna bring the boy.
They won't
do it right.
They won't. They won't do it.
If they got rid of those,
You already know that.
If they got rid of the execs that were causing the problem, that caused all the, when they did the damn Justice League movie and also Batman versus Superman, they took out a lot of stuff that they should have took out, that they should have kept in.
Yeah, because the movie was horrible.
They got rid of that dude. They got better people in there now. We can only hope.
We shall see.
We'll see.
The DC animated movies are great. I love the DC.
Yeah.
They live action movies trash.
Yeah.
Trash. So if they bring in Michael
last one was it Justice
League? They got the right people in place. Because the Flashpoint Paradox was a good animated movie, and if they fuck this one up, man, I ain't watching no more live action.
I still don't like the dude who playing the Flash. It just something about him just don't. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, whatever his name is. I just something about him. Yeah, he played the Flash. Huh? He been in the Justice League movie as the Flash.
Oh, the little kid.
Yeah, now he could have done good as Kid Flash.
Yeah,
they did Young Justice movie, but not Justice League. He's too young.
No, he got to be young because they want to make multiple movies.
Yeah, but Flash ain't never been that young. Flash been like he was 25. Oh, he is? Yeah.
No, fuck that.
He might be 30 something.
All right. Keep it moving. Now we're gonna move to politics. So. You guys mentioned that there was a soldier that gave up info to the Order of the Nine Angels. Y'all have to tell me about this story because I don't know what.
All right, so it was a U.S. soldier. He gave up military information to a white supremacist group
to ambush his group.
Yeah, to ambush them. And the group that he gave it to is Order of the Nine Angels. They're out in UK. In the UK, they're United Nations terrorist group.
Now, not that it really matters, but who are they for? What are they against? What are they about? What's the Order of the Nine Angels?
They're a white supremacist group.
No, I thought you were saying
they are affiliated with white supremacy groups.
Oh, they're affiliated.
Yeah, they take anybody who want to cause any type of discourse, any type of terrorism. They link up with them.
They're very, very bad people.
Are the ones who
they're not good people
because they've been going after military and retired veterans to bring them in because they got some type of heat.
And the soldier's name, his name is Ethan Metzer. Yeah, he's 22 years old. He's facing life in prison. He got arrested on June 10th.
Now, DOD has been watching this.
He gave information to the Order of the Nine Angels to attack what group?
His
military, like Congo or some shit like that.
It was supposed to be what was it?
Harvesting
of the soldiers.
Say that again, cuz.
Like a convoy, like or a base, like you say a military group, like which one?
It don't matter. I mean,
no, it was his unit. It was his unit. They were going to another base.
His specific unit. Oh, okay. I got you.
But after the FBI found him out, what changed his mind that he gonna die in this as well. At first, he was happy about it and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a part of this." But then I don't know. I don't think I want a job.
I guess he forget he in the military. He can't tell him, boy, I ain't gonna make it today.
Right.
Exactly.
And even with doing this, he's supposed to die anyway because that's treason.
Hey, and the thing about it, that information that he passed on, what if that group 098 is that's short for the Order of the Nine Angels? What if they pass that information on to the jihadists?
Well, they work with the jihadists.
You know what I'm saying? What if they pass it on to them?
They could.
That could cripple anything that they got going on over there right now. We don't need our brothers and sisters over there who joined, especially the ones who didn't know what the fuck they were getting into and they joined the army for a Camaro. We don't need them.
No, you're right.
We don't need them getting fucked up over there because, you know what I'm saying, that shit get in the wrong hands, shit gets real.
Everybody at risk because we have a child at the helm. There's not an adult at the helm of the ship right now. And we going.
You talking about the commander-in-chief?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Agent 45.
Yeah, but something need to happen to him. I mean, I don't care if he get a rash he can't reach or something or whatever, but something need to happen to him.
I ain't gonna say something. He just need to be out of office.
Something need to happen to him.
No,
I'm
don't
sorry.
need to be out of. What needs to happen is when this election comes up, he get voted right on out. They don't even let him do another term because if he get out of office, his rants alone with him just talking ridiculousness. You got a couple of people out there that don't have the good God common sense. There's no right from wrong, and they're gonna do what he say. The motherfucker just came out there and said, if they start looting, start shooting.
You say only a couple people? It's like billions of them motherfuckers that don't got no goddamn sense, man. But y'all know about John Bolton, the former security guy.
Yeah, we know about that dude, Mr. Walrus.
So here's my thing, y'all. He about to put out that book. I think it already came out.
We got a lot of information about Trump and all the
he's saying all
the only reason why he put that out was because he got kicked out.
Right, but check this out. So when he was saying he don't like Trump, blah blah blah, he's not voting for Trump, and he said of course I'm not voting for Biden. Or what he planned on doing is just writing in somebody, right? And that got me thinking, right? What if the Republicans are secretly planning on having somebody written in that they all agree on that they would rather have? He's not gonna campaign or anything like that because they want it to be a last minute thing. But all of them gonna write some random person we don't know about that they feel like, because I think that the Republicans feel Trump not gonna win this. Like he's out. The Republicans are leaving him and turning on him left and right.
How you gonna write somebody?
Wait, whoa. Where they turn on him left and right at?
People a lot of Republicans are not backing him anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they not follow him. They not what's the fucking word? I don't remember the word, but they not.
Why are you searching for that word? Who? Like who? Who you talking about?
I don't have no names.
Man. Oh, I need names. I need names because
PrimerilySpeaking, man.
They still solid, dog. Listen, ain't no break in that Republican armor. They are like the fucking 300.
I truly, from what I've been like trying to pay attention to, it looked like a lot of Republicans are distancing themselves from Trump. Because
you better take them glasses off, because
it's a lot of them that
y'all gotta tell me who.
But I know he's losing steam, and I think that this is a conspiracy theory from
his approval rating dropped drastically.
Yeah, his approval rating dropped, but that don't mean that his cronies bailing out on him.
I think
they gonna ride that dude till the wheels fall off.
I mean, of course you got some Democrats that back him up too. You got Republicans that don't like what he's doing, so they not backing him. They the ones that told him to.
You still got to tell me which Republicans they not.
Of course, they're not going to vote for.
I
can't name you the Democrats that's for him. I know they came out and said that it's Democrats that are for what Trump is talking about.
Them Republicans been solid since day one.
No,
day one.
No.
They falling back off that nigga, man, straight up, man.
Because the party system go way back.
Somebody in
all of that.
I tell you one thing, y'all still
blindsided. Like, we gonna be blindsided. Watch,
nigga, get on Google. You Google that shit.
You Google that. I mean, I know.
You want to know the name?
Google the name. Yeah, I mean, tell me. If y'all sitting here talking about the Republicans,
I'm reading.
Not following.
I'm telling you what I read.
Where you read that at? Which article?
You read that on CNN. You can read that.
I ain't seen none of that on CNN. The only thing they talk about on CNN is how this dude making ridiculous statements. He's talking about Kung Flu, making racist remarks.
You must just made that today. You must just read that today because every time I look at the news, well, I ain't gonna say every time, but it's been times I've been looking at the news, and when they're talking about Trump and his, his approval rating and everything like that, you'll see where
his approval rating is going down. That does not mean
you cut me off. You let me fucking finish.
Okay, well,
all right. I'm just saying.
Because that's the second time you bring up approval rating.
Well, you let me finish. I'm telling you what I read in the articles. They talk about his approval rating. You'll have it where they'll state they won't give names. They'll say Republicans are starting to back away from Trump. They're like, okay, we don't approve of what he's saying, or we don't believe in what he's saying. We're against that. The same way that they did when Obama was in office, they was like, we're not gonna support this nigga.
That's not the same thing. You can't compare.
That's the same thing.
That's like comparing ice cream to horse shit. You cannot compare that. That's two totally different things.
How can it not be the same?
That's two totally different things.
How can it not be the same when you had Democrats when Obama was in office and they were saying that they were gonna support Obama? It's the same thing, but they don't back. Yes, the fuck it is.
Okay, well, I mean, you can say that. You can get loud and yell or whatever, but it's not the same thing because Trump presidency is totally different. So wait, hold on, no, no, stop.
Wait, go ahead, Riggs.
Right now,
you gotta say, Riggs. Go ahead.
So right now, if President Obama been doing everything that Trump been doing, what do you think would have happened to President Obama? Exactly. So you gonna sit here and tell me that President Obama presidency been the same as Trump presidency?
I ain't say it was the same.
You just
I did not say they were the same. I said just like Republicans are not backing Trump, there were Democrats that were not backing Obama. That's all I said. That's the comparison.
Yeah,
okay, so that's what we're supposed to see which Republicans ain't backing Trump.
Next your question.
Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney.
Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Yes, because after his little debacle on St. John's Church, he decided, I don't think I want to be with this right now. There are a lot of other people that's not backing him, but the problem what you don't see is you got to follow the numbers and the money.
Yeah.
Trump has an ass of businesses that everybody, and I mean everybody, go to every day to buy Whole Foods, just regular fast food goods, restaurants. They backing him. He's got a lot of financial backing.
That's why Marvel got
the political.
Marvel got rid of the old CEO.
The old CEO.
Yeah.
Disney was always backing the Republican Party.
Yeah, they always.
If you did not know that,
they have always backed the Republican Party.
So, with that being said, it's not about. It doesn't matter who backs this cat. It matters about the financial gain, because when they see the money rolling in, they can turn the other cheek because they're gonna get a cut of this. They know that. The problem that everyone is having is they're going back and forth and saying what this man doing and how outlandish he is. He pulling the okie doke. I agree with Prime. There's somebody else, like the Manchurian Candidate, if you remember that movie, somebody else gonna get written in under the wire, and they're gonna be putting in.
That's why
Trump will try to get it, and he is going to lose by at least 50%.
Because they don't want Biden.
When Trump got elected, South Carolina was one of the red Republican states that did not back his ass.
What?
We didn't back him. We didn't go for him. South Carolina didn't go for him.
They were blue.
He lost.
Not down, yeah.
I think
they did.
He lost that one from here. I have to look it up. But he lost that one from South Carolina.
He won Michigan.
He won Michigan.
And a lot of other big California and shit like that.
California, but see what Trump did? He went to those backwater rural states.
Them motherfuckers
and he got them boy on his ticket.
They put whoever they
want. I'm telling y'all.
The Electoral College already has a selection of who they want
pay attention,
Exactly.
if we start seeing names showing up in this race out the blue that not campaigning, that's the name they trying to back. I think it's gonna happen. It's a conspiracy theory, but I think it's gonna happen. Watch.
Well, how about the little dude in North Carolina that looked like Tom Brady in the wheelchair? I can't remember. I can't think his name. I just saw him about a couple of hours ago. And he was talking about he won some type of big election or whatever. So
I don't know who you talking about.
He might be that guy. Tom Brady in a wheelchair. Just remember that.
Tom Brady in a wheelchair.
Tom Brady in a wheelchair.
All right. That's all I have for politics. Y'all got anything else in politics y'all want to talk about?
I don't have nothing else in politics. I've been kind of staying away from it.
Next, I want to talk about this community. This the big thing I want to talk about right here. And what y'all think about the John C. Calhoun statue coming down?
I'm glad to see it coming down.
In Charleston, South Carolina, and Marion Square, they pulled that motherfucker down.
It's about time. It should have never been up there. It should have never been up there.
I love that shit, man. They say that shit been up there for 125 years, 124, 125 years, that thing been up there.
Yeah. Just 155 years ago, we got the Emancipation Proclamation. So, you know what I'm saying?
Been up there neck and neck.
They put it up after that shit. But this
But the thing is, how do you honor and put this statue up of these great slave owners?
You know we live in South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what it is.
That's why. That's your answer.
No, this shit across the nation, though. This shit across the Bible.
That's the Bible Belt, South Carolina in the South. They believe in that shit, man.
I'm saying not just South Carolina, but across the world. You got all these great slave owners, these people who did this, that, and the third, but they were racist and bigots, and they couldn't stand black people, and it was known that they didn't like black people, but they had these statues up, and they're looking over these cities or whatever. It's just a reminder for black. It's been time for that shit to come down.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. I'm real ecstatic that they did that shit, man.
Riding up Highway 61 around all these fucking plantations up here, where all these slaves were breaking their back to go out there and get the rice out of these rice fields and all that shit, is a reminder. Right?
I still hate that they have plantations in fucking Charleston.
Well, Charleston make you remember all about that. Think about the names of all these street names in Charleston, especially where you live at. If you live in a subdivision, where they call it a plantation. They keep you
not just that. Look at some of the popular names around the South Carolina area. Pinckney.
Yeah.
That's
Pink. You said Pinckney?
Yeah, that's a slave owner name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got what's the other one? What's the big one?
You got
Hall. You know what I'm saying? Ravenel.
I never been to any of those plantations growing up. I never been to none of them shit.
You don't want to go, man.
I had
That's the same thing with the angel oak tree. They wanted to come down there and burn the angel oak tree, but they stopped it. They had 24-hour security with armed officers just to watch the tree.
That's just like back in my hometown of Thomasville, Georgia, they got the big oak tree. The big oak been there for years and years and years. You can look it up. They got support beams and cables holding up the branches so they don't fall on the ground or whatever.
Well, that's a tree they used to hang the niggas from?
Yeah. No, that's what every black person in the town believes, but you still got a lot of the Caucasians. They like to go out there and they like to say, oh no, this wasn't a hanging tree. Like, man, shut the fuck up with your white ass. Get the fuck out of here. We know you lying.
Quick question. Was it in fact a hanging tree? Not what they believe, but was it in fact?
Yeah, it's on record that they used to hang people from that tree.
Okay, yeah, that shit need to come down. Burn that shit down.
Yeah, they like to say, no, that's not true. This, that wasn't true. No, the shit was true.
And it's heritage, not hatred.
Yeah, fuck your flag too.
Exactly.
Burn that shit.
Oh man, when that flag went down off the state capitol in Columbia, I know them white people were mad.
Where? What happened?
When the flag went down?
Oh yeah, they be mad. Yeah. Well, they was out there.
I'm pretty sure you saw a lot of pickup trucks with the flag on it running up and down the highway.
You sure the fuck did. You said they was all over the fucking place, man.
That's
But they don't
just
get
like
they don't get no love like that. We got this spot called like I want to say it's Dixiana. It's a little town called Dixiana in Gaston. And these like little like rural semi-city areas that's around Columbia. Man, the motherfuckers love them some fucking Confederate shit, man. Even when I was shooting pool in the league in the area that I live in, you go to some of these pool halls, man, and the motherfuckers in there, you could tell I was the only black person in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Better than me, cuz I ain't going in there.
Only black person
we believe it,
motherfucker, man.
It ain't about being scared, it's about being smart. If you go in one of them bars and get mopped up, ain't nothing you can say or do. Because all them against you.
I wouldn't have that though, but I mean, now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Every person that was for that Confederate flag wasn't a nasty person towards me. I don't know how they are towards black people in general, but they were cordial with me. You know what I mean? I've met people who seem like cool people, but they just happen to believe.
Nah, it ain't. I know teachers from high school about that flag.
You believe in that. I don't fuck with you like that, but I ain't gonna be a nasty person towards you. If you cordial to me, I'll be cordial to you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna just be mean to you just because you follow that. But if you act an ass, then I'm gonna act an ass too. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a popular teacher from my hometown that's like that. Like
I ain't got no love for none of them.
He ain't never did nothing nasty to me, but his love for that Confederate flag, I'm like, bro, just get that shit up. Like, you make me look at you in a whole nother light. Right. The way that you carry on for this flag. Like, all these African-American students that they came through your class and use your mass media class to excel their careers and go on other places. How do you really feel about them when you carry on about this flag like this? I don't care that your granddaddy, your great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy, somebody's ancestors use that shit so they could get free too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they went out there and fought. And they, you know, they went north and they said, fuck it, we going up just to the Union with no fucking flag.
I had a dude that was real cool. Like, every time I saw him at the pool hall, he was a real cool guy. You know, and then one day I got a friend request from him, and in his picture, there was a Confederate flag. I was like, decline.
Listen, yeah, I'm glad you did. I sure would ask you about that shit though. Like, cuz what's going on with this dude though?
Negative.
This my thing. This my viewpoint on the shit though.
Wait.
Let's say, just like how y'all talking about the Confederacy and the Confederate flag and all that, whatever. You won't see no Jewish people
with that motherfucking
with hanging with somebody who waves a fucking Nazi flag though with swastika on them.
Yeah, no.
The stars and bars stands for hate, slavery, and injustice. Period. Point blank. That's how I look at it. If you flying that shit, I can't fuck with you. Period. Because you all for oppression and against for what I'm about. I'm about justice, and that shit just ain't it, dog.
I remember I had
time to start weeding them boy out, man. You time to start weeding them boy out and shaming them boy to the point where they stop doing this shit. To where you phase this shit out slowly but surely.
Right.
That's how it happens. You know, but yeah, don't give them no quarter, dog. When they kind of all right, they cool. Fuck that. When they in private talking to their homeboys, they talk about you like a dog.
No, we ain't saying they cool. No. We're saying how they interacted with us at the time being. But you look at them sideways because you like, damn, dog, that's how you really feel about that flag? That's like, I got some friends down that's Florida State fans. They pissed off because it was like, oh, we finna rename the stadium. Doak Campbell Stadium will be no more. Because Doak Campbell was a staunch racist. He was a bigot. He did not
and he was a dick.
He did not want black people, when they went to integrate to college, he did not want that to happen. And hey, they was like, fuck you, what you think? We didn't African Americans come to this school. So a lot of people that I was friends with, I deleted them as friends because I'm like, dog, this how you feel? They need to rename the damn stadium.
Get them out
Name the shit Bobby Bowden Stadium.
Get them out
or whatever. Name it after the Seminoles or something. You know what I'm saying? Name it Osceola Stadium.
Hold on, Rexter. I want to answer what you said. To me, it ain't. I'm not gonna be an asshole just to be an asshole. Like, You know what I mean? Like if you being cordial to me, I'll be cordial to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna be an asshole just because of that. Nah, if you,
I ain't a good dude because
you showing your ass, I'm gonna show my ass.
I ain't saying that.
I'm not just gonna go around, oh, I see that flag, I'm gonna just treat you like shit. Oh, I'm gonna hate you because I see the flag. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because that's the same shit. That's just being like them, hating them just because of something. I'm gonna hate you for what you did or doing, not simply because you like the flag. I'm gonna hate you if you acting like an ass towards my people. Then we got a problem. But if you ain't acting like an ass, I mean, you can love your flag all you want, just don't fly that shit around here. I don't mind if you love your flag.
But that shit in your house.
See, and that's my whole thing. I just ain't got nothing to say to you. You can't come and be cordial to me if you flying with it. You flying that. Period. That's just how I personally feel about it.
That's
a lot of them,
my brother.
I don't think
That's
they know the
hatred, my
fuck
brother.
And that make me pissed off even more because they need to educate themselves further.
That makes you prejudiced, my brother.
No, it does not. No, it does not. And I'll tell you why.
Simply because of the flag, you ain't gonna fuck with them.
No, right? But I'll tell you why though. I'll tell you why, because just like how I said with the Jews and the swastika flag, the Nazi flag, though, that's the same thing. That's the exact same thing. Nobody can sit here and tell me that Jews went through a worse thing than slavery. Slavery was the worst thing that happened to black people. No other race in this world has been treated like how we've been treated over the thousands of years, dog.
Oh well, I'm sorry. The Jews went through that. Jews went through slavery. Jews went through hundreds of years of slavery as well. Prior to the 1600s, Jews went through a lot of slavery as well. So you can't say we're the only race that went through that much because Jews went through the same thing.
I'm saying that. Well, I'm saying that we went through the worst. We went through the worst, though. And you know why?
Yes, we had but I can't say we went through the worst.
The reason why we went through the worst, though, is because we still going through it right now. Jews,
I understand that.
Jews aren't in the situation that we in. They aren't. They got their
reparations. You gotta keep in mind that even before, even in AD times, Jews were slaves then. So
I understand what you're saying, cuz, but I'm talking about now. Jews ain't struggling right now.
But you can't discount their history just because you want to talk about ours.
No, wait a minute. So we putting a value on the number, whatever now?
No, but you saying right now.
They weren't taken from their land. They weren't raped, pillaged, brown. They didn't have none of that. They got theirs. But we right now, still as a people, still fighting for equality.
You know what it is to be an African American,
y'all missing my point. Y'all missing my point. My point is simply that yes, we've been through a lot. We're still trying to recover, and we've been going through this thing since.
I know what you're saying. I ain't gonna hate
since the 1600s. We've been going through this type of shit. Yes, that is true. All I was saying is that the Jews themselves have been going through a slavery patch for hundreds of years prior to the 1600s. And they also dealt with a lot of stuff. So for you to say we went through the worst, that's not completely true. We went through terrible times. Yes, that's very true.
No.
The Jews went through something.
No. I'm gonna cut you off right there. Worse. We went through terrible times. We still going through terrible times.
I understand that. I understand. But they got their reparations and they got their vindication as far as getting rid of the oppressors. I understand.
You're not taking what I'm saying.
What I'm talking about is the amount of time that they've gone through that is way longer than the amount of time we've gone through. Yes, we're still going through it. Hold on. 400 years into it. They've got 600 plus years of that.
We got 500 plus.
Right, they got 600 plus.
Hold up. Hey, Brian, hold on.
I'm not going tit for tat for who got it worse.
Hold on. So what Rex is saying is, he understands your statement about the Jews, but what he's saying is they're not going through that anymore. We are still going through the systemic racism and everything right now. We still going through that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I'm asking a quick question. Let's say it stopped tomorrow. We stop tomorrow, right? It stopped tomorrow, and that's that. Let's say it's 500. Let's say it's 550 years that we've been going through that. After 550 years, and it stops. The Jews still have gone through it way longer than 550 years. Is all I'm saying. They went through it much longer. Yes,
that's fine. All right.
But
So if they had gone through it longer, that's fine. That's fine. They went through it longer. We still going through it. But you want to know what the whole thing comes out to? They started working together to build themselves up. The problem what we got as blacks, we always fighting against each other, man.
yeah,
if we don't take back what we had did before in the 60s, and then, well, no, actually in the 40s, and then into the 60s with Black Wall Street, and bringing together, putting our money together, talents that we got, what we do? We always run to the other man.
Because
we never take the time to go ahead and do the job right. If we get together and band together like we say we want to, then shit will happen and shit will change. That's the only way it works. You see the Chinese, them boy band together. Mexicans, Africans, they band together. We the only group that always got some kind of discontent or dissocialization with each other.
And one of the problems that we
that comes from history.
Was that a lot of our people were brainwashed by the white folks into believing their bullshit, and so that makes us divided. The Jews, they didn't have to deal with that. They were all together, even in their oppression. They were together. They were being oppressed.
That's true. Yeah, that's because
whereas the white man was
African without the heritage,
us,
and American without the you know.
And you know what, cuz? I'm glad you brought that point up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talk about the Jews, you keep talking about years and numbers or whatever. I'm talking about brutality. I'm talking about when they first went. Wait a minute, because I see you shaking your head already. Just hear me out.
Let him talk, Brian.
Even when our ancestors been brought over here, the number one thing that they used to do when they bring them off the ship, the biggest dude, the leader, they would strap them up to 4 horses, arms and legs, slap the horses on their ass, rip his ass in half.
You think they just started that now?
No, I'm not saying they just started that now. I'm giving you an example of the brutality that African Americans went through when they came to this country.
Okay.
You can never, wait a minute. You can never, ever put a number, value, or nothing on everything that happened to black people then and now. We're going through the same thing right now, without a doubt. The only thing different now is people seeing it and they trying to be more quiet about it. They can't just run in your house now and bring you out and lynch you and hang you from a tree with 60 white people watching. They can't do it that way no more. They got to do it in a different way. So I don't want to ever hear nobody tell me that no other race in this world done going through anything worse than what we not going through and what we still going through right now. You still got young men and women out there getting killed for no reason other than their skin. That's it. That's it. So I mean, there's no way you can ever compare that. There's no way you can ever compare that.
I disagree with you, cuz I'm completely sorry. The brutality level that you mentioning is nothing new. That didn't just start with black people. That kind of brutality been happening thousands of years ago. That's not new to us. They didn't just do that to us. A lot of other ethnicities had to suffer the same type of brutality. Yes, I get what you're saying, that it's brutal. To us, in this time that we're looking at that type of brutality, it's horrible. Back then, it was normal for them to do that as punishment. Like, that was punishment that a lot of people got, being crucified. They don't crucify people now. Yes,
they do. Yes, they do.
I let you talk. Let me finish. They were hanging us. They were burning us at the stake. They were doing all kind of horrible, unspeakable things. All I'm saying is that level of brutality isn't new. They did a lot of brutal things back then too. I'm not even trying to do a comparison of who had it worse. That's not my thing. All I was trying to tell you is you can't go out there and say we've simply had it the worst, because that's not true. That's not a true statement. That's how you feel about it. How you feel about it. That's your opinion, but that is not a fact.
That is a fact.
That is not a fact, sir.
All you gotta do is read up on history.
I already did the reading. You read it up and you go back and look at history, and and when you do that, you come back and tell me that for a fact we've had it way more brutal. And I'm not even want to do a comparison, like I said, but that's just not true.
The reason why I say that is because we still going through the brutality right now. Just like you can't understand that and saying what you're saying, because just like how you say the choking and the hanging, that just happened to George Floyd. He just got choked out.
Right.
Got choked out.
You talking about a brutality level that is now censored. We have a censored brutality level now. Back then, there was no fucking censoring. They did all kind of despicable shit back then. Yes,
they doing despicable shit now.
They still fucking us up. I'm not saying they're not fucking us up bad. All I'm saying
what's the difference? So what's the difference in the
they was fucking people up way worse than what we're seeing now.
No, they wasn't. It's the same thing. They still fucking us up way worse.
Are you mental?
No, I'm not. It's equal, dog.
So you think that kneeling on somebody's neck is way more brutal than pulling somebody apart by horses?
Yes. It's equal. It's equal, dog. It's equal.
You don't think pulling somebody apart by horses is way more brutal than kneeling on somebody's neck?
Kneeling on somebody's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? You let somebody kneel on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
You think that's way more brutal than pulling somebody apart?
No, I'm saying it's equal. It's equal.
Equal, sir.
It is equal. Yes,
that's
it
not
is.
Equal, sir. I don't agree.
Well, you know why I tell you it's equal? Because both of them motherfuckers dead.
Okay. All right. I understand you want to prove, but I like facts, dog. I want to talk about facts, and you got a feeling about it, and I understand your feeling.
It's not a feeling.
I understand your feeling, but what you're saying is just simply not a fact. That's not a truth.
So you don't think what happened to George Floyd was brutal?
Yes, it was brutal.
Okay,
but I don't believe that that's more brutal than pulling somebody apart by horses. That's not.
I never said it's more. It's equal. It's equal. It's equal. I changed.
That's not equal either. That's not to me. To me, in my opinion, that's not equal. I don't believe that.
They both dead. They both dead, cuz.
So you saying somebody died by lethal injection is the same as somebody getting shot in the head? They equal. They both dead. One is more brutal than the other.
They both dead. They both dead.
So none are more brutal than the other. Dead is dead.
Taking a life is brutal in itself.
So dead is just dead then.
No, I ain't saying dead.
So why you even bring up brutality then? If you just saying dead is dead, then why you even bring up brutality?
We've been talking about how.
Don't change the subject, nigga.
No, I ain't changing the subject, dog. I trying to get back on task, though. We've been talking about how I said black folks been way more brutalized than Jewish people.
And I just disagreed. That's all. All I did was
we can disagree, but I'm telling you, dog, for George Floyd to get up, his neck leaned on for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. When the last time you seen a Jewish dude that happened to?
We haven't seen that happen.
Yeah, that's why he's saying, dog.
The Jews like that no more.
But at the same time, we still getting punished. Never forget, dog, we still in slavery right now. You might not think it, and you might not realize it or whatever, but we still.
Hey, you're not gonna see a Jew get done like that now because they don't do that shit to them now.
I believe wholeheartedly we still have a long way to go before we even get out of this bullshit.
We still have to go through
that. I believe that completely. Only thing I was saying is we haven't been going through it longer than the Jews did in previous times.
We've been going just as long.
I mean, that's just a fact that we haven't been doing that.
Just as long, though.
400? No, sir. No, that's just not true.
Just as long, though.
Because remember, slavery been around thousands of years ago.
Hold up. All right,
it didn't start with us.
I want both of y'all to take a deep breath. All right, so it's like this. Slavery has been going on for forever. Because what they used to do is, when they used to conquer any civilization, let's say they was looking for iron and they was going over to Asia or whatever. They would fight the war, they would take their people, and they would make their people be slaves. Now, the brutality of it is not the same. How we got done, and I understand what you're saying, my brother. How we got done is what the Spaniards were doing. They were cutting people up, they were whipping people ass, they was bending people to their will and doing anything like that. Then you got the Willie Lynch letter that tells you exactly how to break a slave and how to break someone, which is still dividing our community to this day. Slavery is not something that's just localized, just centralized to us as African Americans. It also went on through other people. The brutality, nothing is more horrific than put somebody alive in the gas chamber and gassing them to death. That is fucking horrific. That's terrible.
You know what else is terrible?
Hold on, let me fucking finish, nigga. Shit.
It's getting real.
All right, shit.
Because I got a great point. I got a great point after this.
That shit is horrific. That's horrible. I couldn't imagine no shit like that for me and my family to be put in there in a fucking gas chamber and this, that, and the third. But just as horrific as putting somebody in a fucking gas chamber is putting a fucking rope around somebody's neck that hasn't done a goddamn thing to you, just like they hadn't done a goddamn thing to them. They hasn't done a goddamn thing to you and dropping them from a tree. You don't always automatically die from a fucking lynch, from being lynched. They're getting fucking choked out. They're lucky if their fucking neck breaks and they can't feel that fucking stroke. To see somebody dangling from there, the fucking feet kicking, and that's some horrific shit. That shit's horrific. That shit's horrific. To tie somebody up to a horse, that's fucking horrific. They got people like Emmett Till to drag somebody like that. That's fucking horrific. To take somebody and drown them in the river, that's fucking horrific. To whoop somebody where they got fucking scars,
I want to hear what Rex got to say.
all that shit, all these lacerations and abrasions on the back.
Hannibal, I want you to finish your point. I want to hear what Rex got to say.
That's fucking horrific. He probably ain't got shit to say after I finish what I got to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
You know what I'm saying? That's fucking horrific. And I understand what Rex is saying because that shit wasn't too fucking long ago that shit happened to our ancestors. Now, the thing about, and you were right also, Chris Savage, the thing about the Jews and the African Americans, they came together, even though they came from that area, they came over as immigrants. A lot of them, their names changed and everything like that. They were afforded rights in America that we never got. Fact.
What's your point?
They got hold on. They got till that we didn't get till somewhat later. We never got treated like that. We got brought over to this mug. We were whipped, put to work, grew all the vegetation, all this stuff.
All that. What's your point, man?
That Rex right.
That what was he right about? What's the point you saying he right about?
He's right.
We're not going through more.
We didn't go through more.
Now, Rex, what you had to say?
Well, I'm gonna start off with talking about the Rosewood Massacre, and I know y'all didn't see that movie.
Philadelphia bombing.
And yeah, Philadelphia bombing. We can talk about Black Wall Street. We can talk about all of it.
Shit, you can talk about the Devil's Punch Bowl.
But I won't talk about Rosewood
in
particular because the way they did them people in Rosewood, Florida, was terrible. They burnt them, they hung them, they cut ears off, pieces of the body. They kept them as souvenirs. And one of the most brutal things that they did to Black people that, for whatever reason, didn't affect Jewish people or any other people, they conditioned us to hate each other. And I mean hate each other to the extreme, to the point where we ain't just getting beat up by everybody else. We beating our own ass.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
So unless you can tell me where you see Jewish people just killing each other left and right on a daily basis, so until you can tell me or show me anything about any Jewish people, this whole communities back to back, getting lynched and wiped out, absolutely wiped out. Jewish people own stuff. Black people don't own shit. And you know they ain't got a goddamn thing, dog. So nobody can sit here and tell me that anybody else going through anything more from what Black folks going through in this world. Nobody can tell me that, like because I didn't listen. I didn't.
I'm gonna tell you what the difference is.
I'll tell you like this. Wait a minute, cuz you asked me to speak, so I'm gonna speak for a minute.
Go ahead.
I didn't been thinking about this. Back in my 20s and early 30s, dog, I never used to think like this, dog. Even all about me. I started thinking about all this stuff after I started having my kids and stuff or whatever. There's no way, and I didn't read up on this shit, dog. There's no way that y'all can tell me, see, they sit back, he laughing, but I ain't laughing. He's square puss right now. There's no way nobody can sit here and tell me that any other race been going through or what we have been going through as far as black folks, dog. Because we still going through it right now. Asian people got all these things, dog. Indian people come over here. No, stop. This man asked me to talk, so I talking right now. Asian people got their thing, dog. Indian people got their thing, dog. Jewish people got their thing, dog. What we got?
You can't just say Asian.
What we got? Listen, I see, and y'all being broad about the ship, dog, and I'm not fucking playing. We have nothing. We have nothing, dog. So there's no way nobody can sit here and tell me that any other race going through more than what we going through right now, or have gone through. They've been doing this shit for us for centuries, dog. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And conditioning makes us feel that way, like, oh, well, we got to look at this, or we got to look at that, or, well, this might happen with this person. No, fuck that, dog. We don't want going through the worst.
Don't do that, Rex. Don't say the conditioning.
And we still dealing with that now.
Don't do that. Say conditioning got.
And the only way we can change this shit now, dog, is if everybody just retrain themselves, because everything that we done being taught over the years is wrong. Everything is wrong.
I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest differences. The biggest differences as to why we know what you know with the stuff that y'all just spoke about is because it has been more so recorded in more modern times than it was recorded back then. We are.
Hell, when we fucking talk about it now,
let me finish. We are aware of a lot of this stuff simply because it has been recorded and noted about that. We have whispers and mentions of these things, but we don't fucking know all the stuff that happened 5,000 years ago. Not in 5,000, but like 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. We don't know all of that stuff. Granted. And I'm not trying to discount or say that we didn't go through hard stuff. I am not saying that in any way, shape, form. All I'm saying, what I'm saying is that if you, and y'all know, y'all seen medieval time movies and things from the past, the way motherfuckers was acting back then were brutal, were very brutal. They didn't have guns back then. They didn't have all that stuff. They had swords, axes, and all kind of fool up shit. We have modern time weapons now, which, yes, those modern weapons will cause a lot of destruction, and they do. And we have been the victims of a lot of that stuff. Only point I was making is that I don't believe. No, it's a fact. It's a fact that we haven't.
Ain't no fact.
Huh?
It's not a fact. It's not a fact.
What's a lie? What's a lie? I ain't even seen nothing yet. What's a lie?
Hold on. You know how it's not a fact? Because a couple of seconds ago, you just now said, well, we don't know for sure what happened to history, but everything you're saying about Jewish people is based on history.
Yeah, I'm talking about the time frame. The time frame as far as how long they've been doing it, but we don't know.
See, and then you go again, putting a number value
what was
on
being done to them as slaves. We don't know those details. We don't know that. Well, I don't know that. I'll say that I don't know that. We know the details. We know the details about our history.
But eventually, they put them in the gas chamber if they had blue eyes and blonde hair.
But you talking about the 40s. You talking about the 40s. I'm not talking about the 40s. I'm talking about the 1200s, back in the 1100s, or even
back in the 1100s. They've been massacred. They've been brought as slaves.
Their slave journey. We don't have all the details of how they were treated or what's been done to them, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be.
So if you
years for us.
Okay, so if you know, wait. So if you know, just like how you said, if you know that you ain't got all the facts on that, how could you factually say that they went through more than us?
Oh, I'm saying that because I'm saying.
Oh, you had a long pause.
Well, no, I'm saying that simply because not only the length of time, but what we know as far as the Egyptian times, we know how the Jewish slaves were being treated during the Egyptian times. We know about some of the time during the Roman Empire times. We know about those things, and there were a lot of brutal things going on then as well. And we know that they existed to be slaves prior to then, but we don't know all of the details about what was happening. So I'm going off how people were being treated during the time that we are aware of, during Egyptian times and during the Roman Empire times.
So if we're going by times that we're aware of, We're in now, and we're still getting treated like crap. When the Jews came over here, they did not treat them like crap because they were Jewish. Because why? Because they were white, and they didn't do them like that. It goes all the way back to that. If you were black, you weren't getting shit in this country unless somehow you were able to buy your family as slaves to save your family and house that land, so that now y'all have that land together and generations and generations go on. It didn't happen like that for all the black people. When Jews came over, they were given the benefit like this. You're white, you're white, your skin is right, and we're gonna treat you right.
Right, yeah.
We
would put it against each other, and we were divided heavily. We were heavily divided. So I completely agree with that. I understand that aspect of it. My whole thing was that until even if we were to stop now, tomorrow, next year, whatever the case may be, the length of time that we were under this, whatever you want to call it, we were under this doesn't compare to the length of time that the Jews were being slaves or being treated bad.
Hey, why you keep going on that length of time thing?
Okay, all right.
So you don't think the length of time has nothing to do with it?
Hold on, let Savage got something to say.
So you gotta say the length of time. We didn't have it as rough as them because we don't know. So let's throw all that out the window because that's history. That's back in the past. Let's talk about it right now. The things that are going right now with this country, with the society of African Americans within this country that serve for this country is very poor.
Yes, I agree.
Very poor.
I agree with that.
Now, if we are such of a people, a race of people,
ethnicity of
that,
people. Race is a construct.
Okay.
I just fucking with you. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and say what you want to say. I mean, but you know what? As a collective right now and where we are in this time and era, we should be a lot better than that. We should have moved past everything. If we say, well, you my brother, you this, you that, but we haven't because we still harbor all of those injustices, all of those feelings, all of those inklings of superiority. And that doesn't go for any race. That go for every race.
Yeah, we've been conditioned to believe that we aren't better than. Well, a lot of us have been conditioned to believe we aren't better than, and we have to, we need the white man. I'm gonna say it like that. We need the white man, or we need them. We've been divided mentally.
We've been divided. But this is the thing. A lot of people only think, and they read about it, and they only see, well, we were either slaves.
We were once kings and queens.
Well, that too. But where I'm going at is here in Charleston, South Carolina, which is the original port city, because we was the import-export.
Yeah. 80% of all slaves in Charleston, South Carolina.
You had blacks that was downtown that built Charleston, South Carolina. We were the architects.
Right. Yeah. Right.
We were the first Republican Party.
Right.
And we changed.
Right.
Because the Democrats played the trick.
They did.
The Democrats played the trick. They got us out of the seat, and it changed. Everything flip-flopped.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. See, the problem is a lot of people here don't know history, and they don't know their history. White people know our history.
Right.
Spanish know our history. Asian know our history, but we don't know none of their history that much.
I'll give you a prime example. When I took African American history, both 1 and 2, and I took World Civilization.
World Civ is the best.
Hey, World Civilization teaches you a lot
about other cultures.
In those African American history classes, it was probably 3 to 4 African Americans in there versus maybe 16 other Caucasians in each of my African American history classes. We had an assignment to go see 12 Years a Slave. I went to go see 12 Years a Slave. It was me. It was during a weekday, so of course there was really anyone in there. It was me and one other person in there, and she was mixed. And she was in there with her father because her father brought her to see it. He was white. Everybody else in there except for myself and that young lady that was mixed was Caucasian. Everybody else. And when we were walking out, that one guy said, I don't understand why a lot of African Americans aren't in here seeing this. And a lot of African Americans, they say, we tired of seeing movies like that. We don't want to hear about that because a lot of us don't even know our own history.
Yeah, but a lot of people already know the Nat Turner story. We don't need to see it on the screen all the time. With the white people need to learn. Black people don't need to learn about it.
You never seen it on the screen, but you know the story within the book, the actual story what happened.
Yeah.
That's why you need to see the movie.
No, we talking about this. Now, I ain't trying to throw jump tracks or nothing like that, but Vietnamese and Chinese people, they got a bad history just like us. Yeah. Because Vietnamese, they have a king. And if the king saw you out with your lady and he wanted to fuck her, he'd kill you on the spot. Do you not know that they don't have guns unless you're a drug dealer or whatever, you got a gun, or if you're a criminal, you have a gun. But the original people down there that live out there in that country, they don't have guns. They don't, because they are abolished by their government. Only police and military are armed with weapons like that.
And criminals.
And criminals. Now think about it. You come to a land here where opportunity is free and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can have a gun. You can have a tank for all anybody cares, because why? This is the land of opportunity. The problem that happens with us, we wasn't given that opportunity. We built the opportunity. We made the opportunity for others. Now that we want the opportunity back, it's a problem. But see, I have a real problem when you get mad and you want to do something when another race is over one race. I got a problem with that, because when we're still over ourselves, that's the problem I have. We still ain't waking up. Chicago, them boy had about 600 more killings up there just this week alone. Nobody rallying about that. Nobody saying about that. But whenever it goes between black and white, there's always a fine line. There's always a problem we have to fight against that.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, fellas. That's what I'm gonna do, fellas.
Go in that lane, but I've been trying.
No, you're right.
Fellas. I think that we can reach this point that we say, I think we all agree that we got it fucked up in this country. They fucked us up. They divided us terribly, and it's we could get unity amongst ourselves, then we could do a whole lot better in this country for us. And I agree that we have had it fucked up for a long time. I can agree with that. I'm not against that statement at all. I completely agree with that, and we need to do better. I don't know how we get to that point of unity. We talk about it. People talk about it all the time. But I don't know what actions or steps that need to be made for us to get to that point. I think we can we all can agree with that. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah.
Okay. We disagree on some things, but that's fine. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah,
and we're gonna move on, because we've been talking about this shit for like 30, 40 minutes. And
yeah, that wasn't going rough. Yeah, that wasn't going
rough. Ain't nobody making no headway on this thing, so we gonna go.
Oh, I made some headway, because you had me heated on that one. I
know, good. I'm glad to have you heated. Get that passion.
I want to drop a couple.
I can get a little passionate every time.
I got going for about an hour and a half, man. I want to go ahead. I had a couple other things I want to ask, but I'm gonna skip that. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Sit Your Ass Down.
Right.
I got my Sit Your Ass Down. My Sit Your Ass Down for this week is Tim Scott. Tim Scott need to sit his ass the fuck down, because he bringing this bill out now. I forgot the name of the bill, but he trying to bring this law out because he just realized only 5 fucking years ago that shit was bad with the police. 5 years ago, nigga, you talking about just realized this shit 5 fucking years ago?
Yeah, you heard the shit he said? Talk about, I done stopped before, let's stand the third block. But I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody gonna hear nothing you gotta say now.
That was one of the dumbest statements I ever heard him make. He talk about, he realized it 5 years ago. Nigga, he been talking about this shit for 100 years. Fuck
exactly. Exactly.
Go ass the fuck down with that shit, man. He can get the
Ain't
fuck
nobody got no time for that. None.
That's why sit your ass down, man.
That's your sit your ass down?
Yeah, go ahead, Hannibal. You look like you ready to pull the trigger.
Hey, I want to tell the restaurant, Ozo Bay,
Oh yeah.
owned by the Atlas Restaurant Group, to sit y'all ass down.
Oh yeah.
Those two kids had on, both of them had on athletic wear. Why was the white kid the only one privileged enough to be able to eat at the restaurant?
Privilege. There you go.
No, right. That's right. That's what I said. Privileged enough to eat at the restaurant.
Right.
That's messed up. Shit like that keep happening to us. If I was to do it, anybody, all the doggone African Americans don't go eat there, don't support them, work there, leave there. Huh?
What's the name of the restaurant?
Ozo Bay. O-U-Z-O Bay.
Where is it located?
Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, DMV, stand up.
Baltimore listeners or in the DMV area.
Yeah, DMV stand up.
And that bullshit talking about they trying to change the policy so that any kids under 12 can wear athletic wear. Get the fuck out of here. Be proactive next time.
Yes.
Your ass down.
Oh, it's up.
Rex, who's on your list?
Well, you know I keep a honorable mention. There's a lot of people on there. The prayers always on there. He stays fucking up. I don't understand what it is with him. But my number one dude on my sit your ass down is Novak Djokovic. Now, I know he's a tennis player. He's a worldwide tennis player. Let me tell you what this asshole did. He had a big tennis tournament overseas. I think in Croatia or something like that or whatever. Mm-hmm. 6 people got the coronavirus, including him.
Was that the dude they said he went to a nightclub or something like that?
He did.
Did he go to a nightclub too?
Yeah,
so he just had a fantastic. Yeah, he had a fantastic time, cause he had a tennis tournament for him. He went to the club. He popped some bottles. And he caught the coronavirus and gave it to a lot of people.
On the stage singing with a bottle in his hand and talk about he may have gotten from the tournament. No, nigga.
No. It was because you went to the club, dude. You was partying and doing your thing, and now 1,000 more people got the coronavirus. Thanks, Novak. We appreciate that. Shut your ass down. Dumbass.
Mr. Savage. You gotta sit your ass down for us this week.
Yeah, I got somebody. Who
that there?
Got to lean into him now, Chris.
Okay, I'm gonna go it all in. Y'all president, Agent Orange, aka Mr. 45, need to sit his ass down.
Drop the Mr. Just 45.
45 or no, he can't even get that because that's too powerful. He ain't even ready for that. That retarded motherfucker. Look here. 25. He needs to sit his ass down because every time he come on the stage and says something about this fucking virus, it's always wrong. He said it all the time, wrong. And these motherfuckers that support him, I hope they catch it 10 times fold. That's right. Because he comes out every time and downplays everything. Well, if we don't do any more tests, then the numbers will drop. Who the fuck says that dumb shit? Of course they're gonna drop because nobody can know. If you don't do the test.
Stop the testing.
What he need to do is sit down and eat that fucking Happy Meal from McDonald's because that's all he eats. Because he's a germaphobe.
You see, he can barely walk down the stairs.
Because his ass too fucking fat.
Yeah,
Family Guy got that shit right with the little arms and little legs. And that motherfucker looks like a weaver.
Hey, you walk leaning forward. I'm about to teeter.
So he can sit his ass down.
Because you should have had the roast.
Whoa, you all right?
You got that roll up?
Oh, shit. Turn it off.
Fuck, I was laughing, niggas. Laughing at y'all fool up ass.
Okay, man.
Listen, man. You know what time it is, dog. We looking out for that Rona, dog.
Hey,
this is a tight knit group right there, dog. This is a tight knit group
over here, baby. I stay masked up, man. I stay masked up when I'm out and about. So that's it. You done with your sit your ass down, Savage? Mr. Savage, you done with your sit your ass down?
I'm done.
All right, man. I think this was a healthy debate. We had a healthy debate.
Oh shit! I just forgot something.
What that do?
This nigga get old as fuck this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Coming up, baby. Nigga about to be
coming up there, baby.
I don't know about that.
Hey, and I'm not gonna have the baby girl. My baby girl turns 6 on Friday. You know what I'm saying?
So what we doing? What we doing? Where you getting up to?
We ain't going to no club.
No, we can have the club right here. We can turn the music on and shit
You
like
about
that.
to be old as fuck, Rex, boy. Dang.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm living. How
You
about
got, your,
that?
you got your AARP emails yet?
Hey, listen. I'm gonna let everybody know I get a discount when I go on Friday to get my red rice and fish.
Hey,
I get a
Google.
20% discount.
Look, it's your birthday by Uncle Luke on YouTube Music.
That's right. It's perks to being old. Always remember that.
Oh,
Perks to
man.
being old.
Damn, wish I could help you celebrate, man. I'll call you and have a drink with you, man. But I ain't. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna be in Charleston next week, Thursday. But I'm in and out. I am in and out. I am not lingering around. In and out that motherfucker.
And you know what's weird, Buzz? We
Hey,
don't want you to
Google,
come
stop.
through no way.
Well, fuck y'all too,
Yeah,
then.
you might be a risk. We don't know. We don't know.
Fuck y'all too, then.
You just been coughing and shit. I don't know it.
Yeah, but niggas.
Yeah. So you go in there right on out. How about that? Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, man, your birthday coming up, man. Happy early birthday, man. You got what, 3 more days?
Yeah, I know, man. I'll be 45. Everybody's supposed to be coming down.
Hey, you remember that time we was at grandma's house and I was like, boy, 45.
Wait a minute. Stop.
Say that shit.
Wait a minute.
Talk that shit.
Wait a minute.
Talk that shit.
We will talk about
No. Talk
drive.
that shit on the air.
No drive, but there's no grandmama house.
Gruesome.
No, sir.
Gruesome.
Put his head on the stake.
It's time to end the show. Yeah, we had a great episode.
Say it
of
aloud.
Speaking of
Say it aloud now.
We had a great
It's
episode.
time to shut it down.
Great episode. I think that I finally got Rex to agree with me on something. I think so.
No.
In closure. In closure, before I close out, man, y'all boy was shout out any black businesses or anything like that? Holler at anybody?
First off, let me shout out my barber. Gerald, I need your help bad. Gerald is down on the Lab Barbershop on Spring Street, 165 Spring Street. That's my dude. He'll give you the best cuts, though. He do his thing.
That's what's up, but you ain't going.
Not right now.
He ain't going, Gerald. He's stalling you up, man. He's stalling you up.
Well, fellas, man, thank y'all for joining on this episode, man. I think we had a very good, deep conversation. I think we got a lot of things off our chest. We did not agree on that one thing, but we can agree that as black people, we need to unite a whole lot better than we have.
Yeah,
We start with the division, work with one another, support one another, be there for one another. And only together will we get to that promised land, man. So if y'all could take anything else from this conversation, just take that, man. Just come together. Just we need to be together to win. You know what I mean? So I hope that anybody out there listening take steps towards that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, man. So in conclusion, this has been Primarily Speaking. And I want to say thank you to Chris Savage. You want to give anybody your Twitters, handles, Facebook, Instagram, anything like that?
Y'all got all that? No Twitter handles, none of that?
I mean, I already gave mine out, but if you must know, if you're trying to find me on Twitter and on Instagram, it's at Black Hero 600.
Black Hero 600. Rex?
And if you want to catch me on Instagram or Twitter, catch me at kissmyass.com. There you go. Don't play that shit.
Hey, hit him with the juicy play.
Well, fuck them. If y'all boy will listen to more of this Primarily Speaking content, look us up on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, Primarily Speaking, PRIMERILY, speaking, no spaces, underscores, or dashes. Holla at your folk, man. We about ya. I am your host. I don't forget my whole shit, y'all.
T Prime, we gonna help y'all. There you go. And yeah, I got you back. And I am the total package Rex Devereaux for primarily speaking, doing our thing right now.
That's right. And it's the heavyweight champ, Hannibal Vanderbilt, baby. See you next week.
It's your boy Chris Savage, back in baby.
That's right. And I am your host with the most, Wild Willer himself, your boy Prime in the business, man.
Okay, there you go.
Until next week.